Maitreyi, the friendly one, was a Hindu philosopher who lived during the later Vedic period in ancient India. She is known as Brahmavadini, an expounder of the Veda. In a dialogue with Yajnavalkya in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Maitreyi discusses the nature of Atman and Brahman and their unity, the core of Advaita philosophy. Maitreyi is cited as an example of the educational opportunities available to women in Vedic India and their philosophical achievements. She is considered a symbol of Indian intellectual women, and an institution is named in her honor in New Delhi.
Avvaya lived during the period of Kambar and Vattakotha during the reign of the Chola dynasty in the 10th century. She is often portrayed as a wise old bard lady by Tamil people. She travelled from one part of the country to another and from one village to another, sharing the gruel of the poor farmers and composing songs for their enjoyment. Her poems remain very popular even today and are included in school textbooks in Tamil Nadu. Her compositions contain a list of do's and don'ts for daily life, arranged in simple and short phrases.
The Bhakti movement opened the gate of religious freedom to women in medieval India. This in turn resulted in securing some social freedom too. First, the Parda system was abolished. Secondly, women became free from the circumscribed domestic life by participating in religious prayers like kirtans. Thirdly, a saint could not leave his family to become a sannyasi without the consent of his wife. This emphasized the importance of the wife in the grihasthashram. Fourthly, women were entitled to education through the reading of religious books. Thus, the Bhakti movement had some positive effect on the social status of women, but it could not uplift their economic status. A prominent lady during this period was Mirabai. Her childlike simplicity, deep devotion to God, intense spiritual yearning, and soulful poetry make the God-intoxicated songs of Meera a national heritage of India, which have transcended regional, lingual, and time barriers and are sung all over India.
Chand Bibi was an Indian Muslim regent and warrior. She acted as the regent of Bijapur and regent of Ahmednagar. Chand Bibi is best known for defending Ahmednagar against the Mughal forces of Emperor Akbar in 1595.
The Rani of Jhansi was a brave leader and warrior who chose to stand up to the British Raj and fight them. Lakshmi Bai was educated the same way a boy was and was given lessons in archery, fencing and horse riding, a very rare feat in the early 1800s. She was known for her excellent archery and fencing skills, not to mention the fact that she went into battle with her child. She was a feminist icon.
Kittur Chennamma was the Rani of Kittur, a former princely state in Karnataka. She led an armed force against the British East India Company in 1824 in defiance of the doctrine of lapse in an attempt to maintain Indian control over the region, but was defeated in the Third War and died.
Sarojini Naidu was an Indian independence activist and poet. She was born in a Bengali Hindu family in Hyderabad and was educated in Chennai, London and Cambridge. She took part in the national movement, became a follower of Mahatma Gandhi and fought for the attainment of Swaraj. She became the president of the Indian National Congress and later was appointed as the governor of the United Provinces, now Uttar Pradesh. Known as the Nightingale of India, she was also a noted poet.
Prem Mathu is the first Indian woman commercial pilot and started flying for Deccan Airways. She obtained her commercial pilot's license in 1947. In 1949, she won the national air race. Captain Mathur was rejected by 8 private airlines just because she was a woman. However, she finally landed a job at Deccan Airways. In the 1940s, most women were not even allowed to venture out of their home. The patriarchal system of our society didn't help, and yet there were women like Prem Mathur who were committed to making a positive change.
Durgavati Devi, known as Durga Babi, was a famous freedom fighter. She was one of the few women revolutionaries who actively participated in armed revolution against the ruling British Raj. She is best known for having accompanied Bhagat Singh on the train journey in which he made his escape in disguise after the Saunders killing. Unlike other freedom fighters after Indian independence, Durga started living as a common citizen in quiet anonymity and exclusion in Ghaziabad. She later started an educational institution for poor children in Lucknow.
Sarla Thakral was the first woman to get her pilot's license and clock more than 1,000 hours of flying. She was only 21 years old when she received a license to fly an aircraft. She was working towards getting licensed when her husband died in a plane crash. Later in life, she became a painter and designed clothes, jewelry, etc.
Lakshmi Sehgal, a trained medical doctor, was a revolutionary of the Indian independence movement, an officer of the Indian National Army. When Subhash Chandra Bose arrived in Singapore on the 2nd of July 1943, Lakshmi had heard that Bose was keen to draft women into the organization and requested a meeting with him, from which she emerged with a mandate to set up a women's regiment to be called the Rani of Jhansi Regiment. Women responded enthusiastically to the call to join the all-women brigade, and Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan became Captain Lakshmi, a name and identity that would stay with her for life.
M.S. Subbulakshmi was an Indian Carnatic singer from Madurai, Tamil Nadu. She was the first musician ever to be awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. She is the first Indian musician to receive the Raman Magsaysay Award, often considered Asia's Nobel Prize, in 1974 with the citation reading, "Exacting purists acknowledge Srimati M.S. Subbulakshmi as the leading exponent of classical and semi-classical songs in the Carnatic tradition of South India."
Sulagitti Narasamma was an Indian midwife from Pavagada village in Tumkur district of Karnataka state. She performed more than 15,000 traditional deliveries free of charge over a 70-year period of service in deprived regions of Karnataka with no medical facilities. She was a recipient of the Padma Shri Award.
Shakuntala Devi was an Indian writer and mental calculator, popularly known as the human computer. On the 18th of June 1980, she demonstrated the multiplication of two 13-digit numbers, picked at random by the computer department of Imperial College London. She correctly answered in 28 seconds. This event earned her a place in the 1982 edition of the Guinness Book of World Records.
Usha Mehta was a host of the Secret Congress radio during the Quit India movement. She participated in the independence struggle and was jailed for 6 months for hosting a secret radio show which provided information to various leaders who fought against the British. After independence, she became a lecturer at the University of Bombay. She advocated Gandhi's philosophy and teachings throughout her life. She was a recipient of Padma Vibhushan.
Krishnamal Jagannathan's first encounter with social injustice and poverty was by looking at her mother Nagamal, who had to toil very hard even when she was in an advanced state of pregnancy. Despite being from a poor family, she managed a university education and was soon involved in the Gandhian Sarvodaya movement, where she met her husband. Shankaralingam and Krishnammal believed that one of the key requirements for achieving a Gandhian society is by empowering the rural poor through redistribution of land to the landless.
Padmavati Bandyopadhyay has been the first woman to become a Fellow of the Aerospace Medical Society of India and the first Indian woman to have conducted scientific research at the North Pole. She is also the first woman Armed Forces officer to have completed the Defence Service Staff College course in 1978. She was the Director General Medical Services, Air, at the Air Headquarters. In 2002, she became the first woman to be promoted to Air Vice Marshal, 2-star rank. Bandyopadhyay is an aviation medicine specialist and a member of the New York Academy of Sciences.
Indra Nui is an Indian-American Tamil business executive, serving as chairperson of PepsiCo, the second largest food and beverage business in the world. She served as their CEO from 2006 to 2018. She has been consistently ranked amongst the world's 100 most powerful women. Recently, Amazon named her to its board. Her name is being considered to lead the World Bank.
Skiing through the deserted and coldest regions in the world, mountaineer and Delhi-based outdoor instructor Reena, along with 7 other women, became the first woman to reach the southernmost tip of the world, the South Pole, all in 38 days.
Chitra Ramakrishna was the first woman managing director and chief executive officer of the National Stock Exchange, NSE, an institution founded in the early 1990s to reform the capital market in India, and now ranking as the world's largest exchange in cash market trades and as one of the top 3 exchanges in index and stock derivatives. As the MD and CEO, Ms. Ramakrishna has not only maintained the rich legacy of this great institution, but her tireless endeavor has ensured it has scaled new heights.
Chavi Rajawat is a sarpanch of a village Soda, 60 kilometers from Jaipur. Though holding an elected post, Chavi is not affiliated to any political party. She has been reported to be the youngest person to hold the office of sarpanch. So Rajawat left her corporate job and city life to help develop rural India. After becoming the sarpanch of the village, she has implemented many projects successfully, such as rainwater harvesting, toilet facilities in most of the houses, etc.
Aditi Pant is an Indian oceanographer. She was the first Indian woman to visit Antarctica as part of the Indian Antarctic Program in 1983, along with geologist Sudipta Sengupta. She has held prominent positions at institutions including the National Institute of Oceanography, National Chemical Laboratory, University of Pune, and Maharashtra Academy of Sciences. During the course of the expeditions to Antarctica, her team built Dakshin Gangotri, the first Indian scientific research base station in Antarctica, located 2,500 kilometers from the South Pole.
Mary Kom is an Indian Olympic boxer from Manipur. She is the only woman to become world amateur boxing champion for a record 6 times and the only woman boxer to have won a medal in each one of the 7 world championships. Kom kept her interest in boxing a secret from her father, himself an ex-wrestler, as he was concerned that boxing would hurt Kom's face and spoil her chances of marriage. He learnt of it when Kom's photo appeared in a newspaper after she won the state boxing championship in the year 2000.
Born to a door-to-door vegetable seller, Asha Roy is a professional sprinter who won the silver medal for 200 meters in the Asian track and field events at the 20th Asian Athletics Championships in Pune in 2013. The family lived in abject poverty, and the sprinter was usually able to eat only 2 meals a day with little attention to the kind of nutrition that top athletes need.
Looks can be deceptive. Thin and simply dressed, Nayan Patra of Odisha is actually a power-packed tornado, be it fighting alcoholism, protecting forests, building toilets, or promoting girls' education and women's emancipation. The 47-year-old is at the forefront of it all, leading the way to building toilets and making the villages of Odisha open defecation free. A farmer, the mother of two, is undeterred by her responsibilities for a daughter with special needs. She was also a star campaigner for a UN Women project dedicated to electing women representatives.
Anuradha TK is an Indian scientist and project director of the Indian Space Research Organization, specialized in communication satellites. She's worked on the launches of the satellites GSAT-12 and GSAT-10. She's the senior-most female scientist at ISRO, having joined the space agency in 1982, and also the first woman to become a satellite project director at ISRO.
Jaya Arunachalam is a social worker and the founder of Working Women's Forum, a non-governmental organization based in Tamil Nadu, working for the welfare of marginalized women. Starting in 1978, she channeled her activities under the aegis of the Forum for Organizing Poor Working Women and provided them with seed capitals as microcredit with assistance from banks to start their own small businesses.
Sivashankari is a popular Tamil writer and activist. She's one of the 4 Tamil writers asked by the United States Library of Congress to record their voice as part of the South Asian article on Sivashankari. She wishes to be known as a humanist. Her prowess in Tamil has broken language barriers to address issues of social importance. 16 years ago, she started work on a distinctive project, Knit India Through Literature, which won the Sahitya Academy's appreciation as the first of its kind in Indian literature. We owe it all to all these women and all the millions of unsung heroines for being our guardian angels in upholding the rights of all women folk in the nation.
Now consider this, please. Homo sapiens have been around for over 70,000 years. Women are an entire half of humanity, yet such minuscule numbers of them recognized as achievers, and all of women's contribution to the world unnoticed, unacknowledged. For the greatest benefit of the entire world, isn't it time for women themselves to provide support and encouragement to their sisters to achieve their full potential? More than that, dear privileged other half, could you also lend a helping hand and move over just a bit to provide equal space so that a significantly large number could also work with you towards making a vastly better, more peaceful world? Maybe have your considered responses by the next Women's, hopefully all humanities day.